Justin Trudeau has opened a can of worms in Canada thinking it'll benefit him, but what he didn't realize is that it was just set to make him look worse. Let's get into it.
Oh, yeah!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Fringe. Pierre Poilievre has been a hot topic discussion this week here on the channel, but what's more important is to discuss why all of a sudden things are starting to elevate for Pierre Poilievre. And we've talked a lot about on the channel that Justin Trudeau had brought in a new PR person, a new marketing agent, I guess, to rebrand the Liberals with their drastically low polling numbers. And of course, we've seen in previous videos, as well as the upcoming months, that Maga-style politics was the focus. Whoever Justin Trudeau hired ruthlessly failed at their job because, well, they thought that making Pierre Poilievre look like Donald Trump was going to backfire. Of course, you've seen the word MAGA being brought up countless times in previous press conferences. Anytime they want to talk about what's happening in the country with Danielle Smith and with her positions and with Tucker Carlson coming to Canada, MAGA seems to be a word that's brought up quite often. Now, it seems that while this was a smear campaign in order to disrupt Pierre's numbers, it's done nothing more than catapult him even further into what Nanos is saying, that if as of the filming of today's video on February 8th, that if an election was held today, it would be a conservative majority. Now, what are we talking about? Well, Justin had a slip about Pierre in the House of Commons yesterday. It went viral on Twitter. And of course, I'm sure everybody's seen it by now, but if not, let's take a look at it because Justin Trudeau slips for the better. Here we go.
Mr. Speaker, what we hear from the Leader of the Opposition is under the previous Conservative government, everything was perfect, and what he is proposing to do is to make Canada great again. That is not what Canadians want. He is pining for a nostalgia that, quite frankly, Canadians do not feel.
Hold on. He wants to make Canada great again? And that's not what Canadians want? Is that what I heard?
Canada great again. That is not what Canadians want. He is pining for a nostalgia that, quite frankly, Canadians do not feel. They remember what he did as part of Stephen Harper's failed housing minister. He remembers the people the rights of Indigenous peoples violated, the ignoring of environmental responsibilities, and the lack of an environmental and economic plan for the future. We're going to continue. Mr. Speaker,
what a flop for Justin Trudeau. It's going to make Canada great again, and that's what Canadians don't want. No, we all want to live in poverty, and we all want to just sit here scraping the bottom of the barrel and paying inflated taxes and high interest rates. Yes, Justin, you've nailed it on the head. Well, where this has backfired for the government is that when you go to look at the backlash. Let's take a look at the comment section. The tank is empty. He's got nothing left but anger and desperation, says Marty up north. This Canadian wants Pierre Poilievre and team Conservative Party to make Canada great again. Let's bring it home with common sense. The Prime Minister of Canada, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Why wouldn't a country want to be great? What kind of idiot leader wouldn't want that? And that's one thing I've said from day one, is that people seem to think that Make America Great Again, or MAGA, seems to be a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with loving your country. What we've seen in the downfall of this is that MAGA-style politics are indeed, in fact, now a part of Canadian politics, but it's not because of Pierre Poilievre. This has been brought in by Justin Trudeau's marketing team, thinking that it's a great way to catapult the platform. Justin has been using this for quite some time. Let's take a look at an interview from last year in Toronto where these things were hinted at already.
And that ability to come together and work on that, I will work with anyone who is similarly optimistic for their communities and their country. And there's lots of partners out there across the spectrum. But the choices we get to make in politics and as voters and as electors is there a strong, concrete, tangible vision on how to meet the future where it's going to be? Or do we fall back on a backward-looking, oh, let's make it great like it used to be. Let's make it great like it used to be. There must be a catchier way of saying that, but
there was a catch way of saying it, and you did it yesterday, Mr. Trudeau. What's really funny is that if you look at everything that's going on right now in the world, when you look at, again, Tucker Carlson's appearance in Canada and the amount of dirt that was kicked up with the Liberals saying how horrible it was that Danielle Smith would invite such a vile person who promotes MAGA-style politics into Canada to talk about horrible, horrible things for people, like Danielle Smith's position right now on, I guess, I don't want to say legalizing, but making it illegal for children under the age of 17 to mutilate their bodies, to take puberty blockers, to put themselves at risk. Now, of course, Pierre Poilievre is being looped into that group because, of course, yesterday, if you looked at our video yesterday, Pierre Poilievre came out and said that he is in favor of not giving puberty blockers to kids under 18 years of age, that he, in fact, does stand with Danielle Smith's position on this. And, of course, we're going to see a lot more of these MAGA style accusations come at the country. Let's take a listen to hear what was being said with the NDP and the Liberals yesterday. I know the video's small, but let's just get the audio.
Do you view this as a parental rights issue at all?
Well, I'd like to say, first of all, there's no such thing as parental rights in Canada. There are parental...
Sorry, what? What? There's no such thing as parental rights in Canada. Hold on.
Well, I'd like to say, first of all, there's no such thing as parental rights in Canada. There are parental responsibilities. And in Canadian family law, the primary responsibility of parents is to support and affirm their kids. Children have rights in Canada, and these kind of policies restrict the rights that children have in Canada.
So essentially what people are missing on the boat here when it comes to this push, much like pandemic restrictions, pharmaceutical companies stand to gain a lot of money from children taking puberty blockers. And of course, a lot of government have special interests when it comes to their investments in pharmaceutical companies. God, there goes my dyslexia. They stand to lose a lot of money when things like this are shut down. That's why there's such a push for children to do these things these days, is because you gotta follow the money, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta follow what's going on. Now, when it comes to Tucker Carlson's visit to Canada, when it comes to those MAGA politics, well, now we're going to see full-blown MAGA politics in the country, and I wanted to make a separate video, but I think there's a way to work this in, that Danielle Smith now being accused of being in bed with the Russians. You're going to see the same comments probably come out about Pierre Poilievre, because he's not going to condemn Tucker Carlson. He's not going to condemn Danielle Smith. And of course, because he stands with them, we're going to hear about Russia. Let's take a look at what's going on here.
Well, in case there was any confusion whatsoever, Tucker Carlson is in bed with the Russian regime. Now, already we know that Donald Trump had this very peculiar sycophantic relationship with Vladimir Putin, but Tucker Carlson is actually over there in Moscow now, and he wants to show Putin's side of the argument. Now, let's just be absolutely factually honest about this. Tucker Carlson is supporting an absolute dictator. Russia doesn't even have press freedom. Journalists are locked up, they're thrown in jail, they're killed. Anyone who opposes Putin is killed. And Russia, under Putin, invaded sovereign Ukraine, an ally of the West. And here I am in the province of Alberta with a very large Ukrainian population. And just a couple of weeks ago, Tucker Carlson was sitting on stage, in two stadiums he couldn't even fill, but sitting on stage with Danielle Smith, the premier of this province. So she has sucked up to someone who is clearly a puppet of the fascist or authoritarian Russian regime. This really, really matters. It exposes it for what it is. I think it's high time that our American friends take hold of this narrative and say, all of these people who are clearly getting supported or funded or have some weird relationship with Putin's Russia need to be exposed for their exposure to international manipulation. And Tucker Carlson, the fact that you have access to the premier of this province means the premier of this province absolutely has to go. This is so totally unacceptable. And I mean, you're just a simple little narcissist, I think. Or Putin and his whole gang have got something on you. I don't know what that is, but boy, you are supporting the wrong side of history here, and it is sickening.
Little Thursday morning comedy for everybody. Thursday afternoon. Sorry, by the time this is up on YouTube. What is this? This is where we're headed. This is where things are going to get rough going into an election. The gloves are going to come off from the Liberals. I mean, they've gone full stupid here with everything in terms of promoting this painting of MAGA, of Donald Trump in Canada with Pierre Poilievre and the Conservative Party. And you're going to see, the reason I wanted to share this clip about Danielle Smith with Tucker, once Tucker's interview with Russia comes out, at the time of filming this video, it's coming out this evening, I can assure you this will be a discussion in the House of Commons. I'm sure it's going to be a discussion in Alberta legislature, and Danielle Smith is going to be thrown under the bus as much as possible, because anytime you want to speak up about the treatment of our current government, this man says, well, they don't have freedom of the press. They lock up their journalists. Well, we kind of essentially don't have freedom of the press in Canada either. If you look at Justin Trudeau's internet censorship bills, and you look at the fact that when you do search history, that news organizations, unless they're paid by the government, they don't have their search results taken. They're not allowed to rank within algorithms. They're silenced, essentially. Channels like this, anytime we talk about the government, are ridiculously sanctioned and put down and silenced on the YouTube algorithm because, well, people just don't want that news getting out. This is what we are going to see going into the next election, is an American-style election in terms of the politics, in terms of the references. And if you think Justin Trudeau has any chance of winning the Prime Minister's next election, I mean, look at the faces while he's talking. Let's take a look here at the background. The reactions, the plain, stale-faced reactions of this Prime Minister speaking. I mean, this is not a party that supports its leader. This is not a party that thinks he has any kind of credibility to bring to the table. Anytime Pierre's talking, his party looks interested, they look engaged, and this is what Justin Trudeau brings to the table, is just pale-faced, stone-headed, empty thought individuals. It's laughable at best, but ladies and gentlemen, MAGA-style politics have entered Canada, and it's only going to heat up. Pierre's numbers skyrocketing through the roof. And again, folks, let me know what you guys think. Is it going to get worse? Is Danielle Smith in bed with the Russians? Is that what we're to believe is going on now? Let me know your comments down below. If it's your first time here, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We've gained almost 1,000 subscribers in 2 days. It's crazy. The channel is catapulting. It's growing at a stupid rate. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Click your bell for notifications. Please do all the usual YouTube stuff. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Throw it out there in the algorithm. Make sure that videos like this aren't silenced when it comes to YouTube. If it's your... Also, I'm stumbling already because I'm just laughing at the MAGA-style politics. If it's your first time to the channel, also make sure to join us tomorrow night for our new stream time, a Friday Night Fringe here on the channel at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Central here on the channel. We're going to do a little bit back and forth. Maybe I'll have my brain and my vocabulary together by then. And we're going to talk about everything that happened this week. We're going to have some back and forth with the community. It's always great to hear what you guys have to say outside of making these videos. I love hearing your opinions, and I look forward to seeing each and every one of you there again when I have things on straight. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.